Howdy folks, hi. Let's see, heard you were a POW as well. Yeah. And they replied quickly. Dominique supposed he had been suppose he had seen a lot. Seen all the parts. Suppose he had seen quite a bit of the war. He had fought the Jade fighting man and lived. He had endured the harshness world that the Jade were building far away from the battlefield. It was a world that Dominic imagined. It was a world that was shut down. Let's see, building far away from the battlefield. It was the world of Jade Global Empire. Alright, let's see. Had the Jade won the war, everyone who wasn't Jade would have become a slave, or more than a slave. Been just a slave, become slaves. The Jade would have built their great cities, built new great cities in Europe over the bones of the old cities. And eventually, all non-Jade would have been murdered to replace with new Jade. What's the Jade? The Jade would have become the only race in the known world. And then maybe after another 1,000 years, they would have spread out their empire to the other quadrants, the other parts of the world, beyond the endless sea. Probably would have been less than 1,000 years. People like the people who ran the Jade Empire were always hungry. Expansion, combat, expansion. No way would have been satisfied with just ruling the known world. Did I say neon? Thought I might replace that with the English. Report the word known with neon, like with an I instead of an O. Dominique elaborated about his captivity, since he had a feeling that, wouldn't be satisfied with just, yeah. And it was a bit rude, Dominique thought. After all, he was talking to his date, not some reporter or writer who wanted to do a book on the Jade War. I was captured after I was captured in Salgoria. Dominique noted. Their E-Day was well along. Shortly after the Battle of the Crater. Most of the POWs that Jade took during the fight, Battle of Salgoria, ended up massacred. I was one of the lucky ones. Shipped back to the Jade continent to help repair the country after the meteors hit. Then 1946, was that in 48? I've got to check. And that's one of the things about writing an alt history, folks. I was put in a camp that was specifically built for the repair work. How many people were there? Nina asked, curiously. 2,000. About... Dominique assumed she meant talking about Allied troops, not the Jade. About 10,000 people in our camp. With about 400 guards, Dominique guessed. The guards were mostly young men, very young men. Some of them very young men, or very old men. They were a cruel lot and shot people the slightest provocation. When they got bored, they had prisoners fight each other in something they called the dog pit. The dog pit, and officers bet on the winners who would win. Prisoners who kept tabs on their comrades, where the guards got special privileges, which is they were quite hated. A lot of unpleasant images passed through Dominique's mind as he considered these things as he spoke. He couldn't help but see those things. You ever have a day when it feels like too tired even to talk? I don't know why. I got to sleep early last night. I was eager to get in bed. It was like some vampire running back to his tomb before the sun rose. I can't help but see those things that happened. These things when he discussed them. He was glad that Nina could see what was interesting, as it would have killed her appetite. Dominique, on the other hand, he didn't feel sick at all. Long before he had got to those camps, he had seen a lot of disgusting things happen to people, and had he let those things spoil his appetite, would have starved to death. who have starved to death back in Zeloria. Dominic remembered one time eating a bowl of beef stew just out of the way from some dead guys, Allied troops, who had their brains pouring right out of their skulls, like flesh-colored cracked eggs. Dominique was pretty sure only the idea of getting some parts of a person inside his mouth could make him gag. Pretty sure only the idea of getting some parts of a person inside could make him sick. I'm writing really long paragraphs today. I'm not sure why. Really, I don't know. Yesterday I had a lot of short paragraphs. Today I have long paragraphs. I don't know. That's because this all feels like one thought. Nina said. Then asked, what became of those men? Traitors, when they were. When the camps were closed. Liberated. Dominic gave her a look as though to ask back. What the hell do you think happened? Let's say hell. He gave her a full answer. Other people end up dead. And he replied, quite mysteriously. Nobody was prosecuted. Even though an egghead officer made us stink and swore he was gonna get to the bottom of it. Demanded somebody confess. But nobody did. And it was over then. Dominique decided to elaborate on the liberation. It wasn't like the liberation of that camp in that movie, whose name I can't remember. Dominique said, not a lot of shooting and rah. Not a lot of shooting and delivering retribution, repayment to the guards. We owed the guards our life. An order went out shortly before Dalada capital got nuked. An order went out for the guards of the camps to liquidate the prisoners as a final act of revenge. It turned out that the Jade would have more than a few final revenges, including that terrorist attack that took several million lives. Worst terrorist attack. Some of the camps' guards, some of the camps, the staff of some of those camps obeyed those last orders to the letter, but a bunch of the camp guards officers, but a bunch of the camps just ignored the order. See, I get a little confused there. Like, camps as in the personnel there, not the camps. Like, the camps were sentient and they decide when someone lived or died. Boy, howdy. Just ignored the orders. Dominique noted. Did I mention Domi or Dominique here? No, I haven't. Don't get advantage of everyone being asleep in the house now. And go to the toilet without worrying about someone knocking on the door saying, I need to get in, I need to get in. Should have bought a house with 2 bathrooms. Or put a second bathroom in. I mean, we got room for it. There's a whole secret room behind my bathroom mirror. It's like that, if you've seen the movie House, it's a horror movie from the 80s. Yeah, there was a secret room behind the bathroom mirror. More like a portal, I guess. A huge portal. House 2 I'd like to. House 3 and 4, those are crap. I really didn't like House 3. Let's see, just ignore the order. Maybe some camps never got the order to break down in communication. So it might not have been the Jade people finally coming to their senses. Senses about the war. Our camp was surrendered bloodlessly. And a few guys, officers, killed themselves. So after trying to escape in some nearby woods. One of them was a real prick. I'm sad I didn't get to see him blow his brains out. Blow his brains out. Nina looked unsettled. By what Dominique had said. Dominique shrugged his shoulders a little. Played with his food with his fork. Nasty stuff, miss. Dominique said. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who will hate Jade forever. Are you one of them? Nina asked. From her tone, it was like their future of their relationship depended on it. Dominique had plenty of girls before, and they didn't. And they never agreed on everything. Why would this be any different? This relationship be any different? Agreed on everything. Why would this relationship be in there? I guess I hate them. Dominique's replied. Maybe I could fall in love. I don't know. Maybe I could fall in love with a Jade girl someday. Spend the rest of my life. Dominique got it off. never, not once did he imagine that he hated the Jade. He never once imagined himself committing some massacre against him. And since we're taking a Jade girl and raping her, burning down some Jade's house or some sacred temple on the Jade continent. Plenty of soldiers, Allied soldiers, did get some bloody revenge against the Jade when they got to this continent. Dominique wondered if it made them feel any better to make themselves into Jade-like barbarians for a time. Let's talk about lighter things, Dominique suggested. Tell me about your family, Nina requested. All these years, I never knew that the famous Vert family had relatives in Zeta. No Zetan cousin relatives. I better check. Zetan cousin relatives. Yeah. Maybe I just assume I never said something like Dominique had no cousins in America, you know. I don't know if I have relatives still in the old country, but, you know, it's something that a lot of people probably have but don't think about it, like, you know, like, unless their whole family came over from the old country. Unlikely the case. Son of a lunatic. Wow. We didn't make much of a splash. Dominique jeered. What is it? My earliest ancestor, the Vert son who came to Zeta, was the son of a lunatic of the family. Guy who killed some people. Started out fine, but eventually killed some people. He was condemned to death. He had a wife and son at the time he was of his arrest. Both of them left the family and went to Zeta. The son married the wife committed suicide around the time the son was 18. His name was Raphael, I believe. Something that began with R. I think that's how you do it. With R. He married a very troubled. He changed when he grew up. He changed his name, his last name, to Green, and he courted a wealthy heiress a girl of a wealthy family. The girl was very troubled in the head, but they were married and had kids anyway. Since then, madness has run in my family. But, well, who doesn't have mad relatives? It's in their family tree. Nina asked. Is that too big of a paragraph? I don't know. I see things in Lord of the Rings that are like 100 times that big. Like a whole page of dialogue. You know, if you're gonna talk that much, you might as well show, right? Show it. I mean, showing is like shorter. Might have trimmed a few 100 pages off the book. Not that the book needed to be trimmed, I think. It's good, but, you know, I mean, was that they say that you should start as close to the end as possible? I guess we all do. Well, Dominique's mother was not agreeing, but she was definitely disturbed. But she was definitely mad. Not mad as in... Not mad, like, a little crazy at times. But, by the end of her life, she was a hysterical, screeching creature in some padded cell. Death was a merciful thing for her. And it released Dominique and his father from a terrible burden. Okay, and on that pleasant note, let's sign off here, folks. See you.